The twin suns of Arvion 6 burned through the thin clouds, casting a golden glow across the floating mountains. From above, the forests looked like a shimmering carpet of green and silver, with rivers twisting like silver ribbons below. Ryan Hale, a human explorer, adjusted his visor and scanned the terrain. He had been on this planet for nearly 3 weeks, mapping mineral deposits and studying unusual energy readings that shimmered through the atmosphere. Ryan's ship, a small scouting vessel called the Pathfinder, had landed on a plateau near the edge of a massive crystal cavern. The scanners had detected movement, or something alive, deep inside the cave. Most of the other humans would have ignored it, assuming it was some native creature too small to matter. But Ryan's curiosity was insatiable. He had always believed that humans could uncover the impossible if they dared to look. "Ryan, are you sure about this?" called Lena, his second-in-command, over the comlink. Her voice held concern. "I don't know yet," Ryan admitted. "The readings are strong. Something is down there, and it's not a normal animal." Lena sighed. "You always follow your gut. Just be careful, okay?" Ryan smiled faintly. "When have I ever done anything else?" He descended into the cave slowly, the crystals around him glowing faintly with the planet's natural energy. They hummed softly under his touch. The walls reflected his flashlight, making the cavern appear endless. He moved carefully, scanning for pressure points or weak spots that could collapse. Suddenly, a sharp metallic sound echoed. Ryan froze. His visor displayed a spike in energy readings. Something very large was in the center of the cave, and then he saw it. A massive creature lay trapped under a lattice of crystal shards. Its scales glimmered faintly, like molten silver mixed with deep blue. Wings that would have stretched wider than a human building were folded awkwardly, crushed by fallen crystal beams. The creature's eyes opened slowly, revealing a strange intelligence and fear that Ryan had never seen in any animal before. A dragon. Ryan swallowed hard. Not a legend, not a myth. This was real, and it was alive. "Whoa," he whispered. The dragon's eyes flickered, assessing him. Its body shivered in pain, but it didn't try to attack. Ryan crouched down carefully. "Hey, I'm not here to hurt you. I can help." The dragon's eyes widened slightly. And then it let out a low, vibrating hum. Ryan's scanner buzzed. It wasn't sound in the usual sense. The reading suggested telepathic energy. "Hello, can you hear me?" Ryan spoke slowly, thinking the creature might understand through thoughts. To his astonishment, a voice echoed in his mind. "Yes, I hear. You are human. Why do you come?" Ryan froze for a moment. Telepathy? He had read theories about such energy but never experienced it firsthand. I want to help you," he said. "Are you hurt?" "Trapped. Weak. Cannot move. Machines took everything. Left me here." "Machines?" Ryan frowned. He had seen strange drone activity near some human colonies, but nothing like this. "Don't worry, I'll get you out," Ryan said, already looking for ways to remove the crystal shards. He activated his cutting tool, carefully slicing pieces away. The dragon hissed softly, not in anger, but as if acknowledging the effort. Time stretched. The crystal lattice was heavy, and every movement had to be precise. One wrong cut, and both of them could be crushed. Sweat ran down Ryan's face, but he ignored it. Finally, after what felt like hours, the largest shard fell away. The dragon shifted its wings painfully, then tried to stand. Its eyes focused on Ryan again. "Thank you, human. Name Severus," it said. "Ryan Hale," he replied. "You're safe now. Almost." The dragon struggled to move, its muscles weak from being trapped. Ryan realized it couldn't fly yet. He carefully helped it crawl toward the cave exit. The cavern shook suddenly. The floor trembled under unstable crystal formations. "Hold on!" Ryan shouted. He put his shoulder under the dragon's chest. using all his strength to lift and guide it. Small pieces of crystal fell around them. The cave seemed alive, protesting their movement. When they finally emerged into the sunlight, Ryan fell to his knees, exhausted. The dragon collapsed nearby, panting, or whatever passed as panting for a creature like this. "You're alive," Ryan whispered. "You made it." Scifi lifted its head slightly. "Alive. Yes, thanks to you, human." Ryan watched it carefully. Even in its weakened state, Scifi radiated power. He had never seen anything like it. The scales shimmered under the sun, and the hum of energy around it was faint but unmistakable. Suddenly, his comm link beeped. Lena's voice sounded worried. "Ryan, what's going on? You were gone for hours." "I found something. You won't believe it," Ryan said. "I need the team here. Now!" Minutes later, the scouting team arrived. They froze when they saw the dragon, just lying there in the sunlight. Their weapons were half raised, eyes wide with fear and awe. "Step back," Ryan warned. "It's not dangerous. It doesn't want to fight." Severus's eyes glimmered, watching the humans carefully. "I mean no harm. Only help me leave this world." Lena took a cautious step forward. "It talks in your mind." "Yes," Ryan said. "Telepathic communication, and it's intelligent. We have to help it. These readings, they're unlike anything I've ever seen." The team murmured among themselves, debating what to do. Some wanted to report this immediately to command, others thought it too risky to interfere. "Listen," Ryan said firmly, "if we alert command now, they might capture it, or worse. We need to stabilize Scifi first. Then, we figure out a plan." The team reluctantly agreed. They set up a temporary camp near the cave. Ryan and Scifi worked together to move large crystal debris, clear pathways, and allow the dragon to rest safely. During the night, Scifi told Ryan about its past. Home, destroyed. Machines came, trapped me. Flight pack, taken. Friends, lost. Ryan felt a pang of sorrow. The dragon was alone in a strange world, and humans were the only allies it had. "Machines? Do you mean robots?" Ryan asked. "Hollow swarm. Take energy. Destroy. Leave nothing." Ryan frowned. Reports of the hollow swarm had come to human colonies recently, machines that harvested energy from planets. Scifi's story fit too perfectly. "We'll help you, Scifi," Ryan said, his jaw set. "Humans and dragon together, we can do this." Scifi's eyes seemed to shine. "Together? Yes. Perhaps hope." Ryan knew they faced impossible odds, but seeing Scifi's trust filled him with determination. The next morning, Ryan led the team back to the plateau, where they began to examine the strange energy readings. Scifi hovered weakly over the sensors, wings still damaged, but energy glowing faintly from its body. Ryan realized something incredible. The dragon's scales weren't just natural, they stored massive energy. Combined with human tech, they could become a powerful weapon against the swarm. But first, they needed to heal Scifi. Using portable repair units, human engineers carefully reconstructed damaged wing parts. Ryan worked alongside them, studying the dragon's energy patterns. Every step was delicate. Every mistake could end in disaster. After hours of careful adjustments, Scifi flexed its wings. A small, controlled liftoff lifted it a few feet in the air. The human team cheered softly. Ryan smiled. "We'll get you flying fully soon," he said. Scifi hovered closer to Ryan. "You risked life. Human. Few would. You trust." Ryan laughed softly. "Humans like to prove themselves. Sometimes we do impossible things." For the first time, Scifi seemed to understand not just the words, but the meaning. Trust, courage, partnership. As the sun set over Arvion 6, painting the sky in shades of red and gold, Ryan looked at the horizon. Somewhere beyond the mountains, the hollow swarm was building their converter towers. But Ryan no longer felt fear. He had Siverus at his side, and together they would face whatever came next. The adventure had begun. And Ryan knew this was only the first step in a journey where humans and dragons would prove that no challenge was truly impossible. The morning light on Arvion 6 was pale and soft, slipping through the floating crystal towers that dotted the mountains. Ryan Hale stood on a ridge overlooking the human camp and the partially healed dragon, Siverus. The wind carried a faint hum from the forest below, a sound that seemed almost alive. Siverus flexed its wings carefully, testing the strength after the repairs from the previous night. The shimmering scales reflected the rising sun, creating patterns of blue and silver across the rocky ground. Ryan approached, a mix of excitement and caution in his steps. "How are you feeling?" he asked. "Better, stronger, still weak. Wings, not full flight," Siverus replied telepathically, its eyes meeting Ryan's with an intensity that made him feel both awe and responsibility. Ryan nodded. "That's fine. We'll get you there step by step. No rushing. We'll figure this out together." Nearby, the rest of the human team moved carefully, studying the dragon with a mix of fear and curiosity. Lena and the engineers worked to modify the camp's technology to stabilize Siverus's energy field. It was delicate work. Even a small miscalculation could hurt the dragon, or worse, trigger a dangerous energy surge. One of the engineers, Thomas, spoke softly. "Ryan, if we succeed with this, what does it mean? The dragon, its energy, it's more than anything humans have seen. Could we even control it?" Ryan shook his head. "Control isn't the goal. Partnership is. Siverus isn't a machine. It's intelligent, capable of thought, and it chose to trust us. That's more than most humans get from each other." Siverus shifted slightly, glancing at the humans. "Trust, fragile, must be strong." Ryan smiled faintly. "We'll protect that trust. That's my promise." As the day progressed, the humans and Siverus began to bond. Small routines formed. Siverus would hover over the camp while humans worked, and occasionally it would help lift heavy objects using its still damaged wings to create controlled gusts. The engineers adjusted energy shields around the camp to protect it from sudden storms and unstable ground, but it was clear that the dragon's presence changed everything. By mid-afternoon, Ryan called a meeting. "Everyone," he began, standing on a rock so the team could see him clearly. "We're not just on a scouting mission anymore. The hollow swarm has been taking energy from planets, leaving nothing behind. Siverus's home was destroyed by them. If we do nothing, more worlds, maybe even ours, could be next." A murmur ran through the team. Some were scared, others hesitant, but Ryan continued. "But we don't have to wait for fear. We have an ally that no one else has, a dragon. Siverus can help us fight the swarm if we work together. We form a team, a unit, humans and dragon. I call it the Pack." The name hung in the air. Some smiled, some frowned, but the idea began to take hold. "Pack? Humans and dragon? Yes," Siverus agreed. Its energy pulsed slightly, like approval. Lena stepped forward. "Ryan, you're serious? We're supposed to fight a machine army with a dragon?" Ryan's gaze was firm. "Not just fight, outsmart them. We combine what humans do best, strategy, technology, creativity, with what Siverus does best, power, agility, and energy. Together, we can do things they don't expect." Thomas scratched his head. "It sounds impossible." Ryan grinned. "That's the point. Humans do impossible things all the time. With the team's tentative agreement, the next days became a mix of preparation and training. Scifi practiced flying short distances while humans rode carefully on its back. The dragon's wings still carried pain, but every controlled lift brought more confidence. Ryan trained alongside, adjusting flight harnesses, making sure the human riders would be safe. At the same time, engineers studied the energy readings from Scifi. They realized its scales were not just powerful. They could amplify human technology, potentially overloading the swarm's shields. The possibilities amazed them. Lena observed one of the training flights. "Ryan, if we really do this, we're putting everything on the line. There's no turning back." Ryan looked up at Scifi gliding gracefully, its wings shimmering in the afternoon light. "I know. But we have to try. Nothing worth doing is easy. Humans didn't survive the galaxy by playing it safe." Scifi landed gently, lifting its head toward Ryan. "Human, your courage, strange, but strong." That evening, Ryan and Scifi had a private conversation near the edge of the camp. The sky was a swirl of orange and pink as the twin suns set. "I know this isn't easy for you," Ryan said softly. "I can feel the weight of your past, losing your home, losing your pack. But now, we can build something new, a team, a family, humans and dragon together." Scifi's eyes glimmered. "New pack, fragile, but hope." Ryan nodded. "Exactly. Hope is the only thing stronger than fear." The next morning, Ryan led the pack on a reconnaissance mission. They approached the nearest swarm activity zone, using scanners and Scifi's telepathic sensing to locate machine patrols. The swarm units were massive, tall and angular, with glowing red sensors and energy pulses that could cut through rock. The pack moved carefully. Scifi's energy field shielded the humans from detection while they observed the swarm. "They're building something," Thomas whispered, pointing to a structure in the distance. "Looks like a tower. It's huge. Maybe an energy converter." Ryan studied the readings. "Exactly what Scifi said. They're harvesting energy from the planet. If they finish it, Arvion 6 could collapse. We cannot allow this." Scifi's voice trembled slightly. Ryan turned to the team. "We'll need a plan. This is bigger than anything we've faced before. But together, we can stop it." Lena frowned. "Ryan, how? Those machines, their defenses, it's impossible." Ryan smiled faintly. "Nothing is impossible if we work as the pack, humans and dragon working together. We'll find a way." Over the next few days, the pack trained tirelessly. Humans learned to ride Scifi more skillfully. Engineers and Scifi experimented with amplifying energy bursts. Scouts tested new weapons, combining plasma rifles with Scifi's energy pulses. Every trial had risks, but every success built confidence. One night, as they gathered around the campfire, Ryan spoke again. "We may be small compared to the swarm, but we have something they don't. Imagination, courage, and trust. Scifi trusts us. We trust each other. That's more powerful than any machine." Scifi hovered above, wings folded, watching the humans. "Trust. Fragile. Precious. Keep." The pack understood. This wasn't just a mission, it was a bond, stronger than fear, stronger than doubt. The next morning, they made the first move. Ryan led the pack to a ridge overlooking the swarm tower. From this distance, the tower looked like a dark storm rising from the ground. Pulses of energy radiated outward, making the air shimmer and hum. "Stay low," Ryan instructed. "We need to observe before acting." Scifi hovered silently, feeling the energy and relaying its sense of the swarm's defenses to Ryan. "Shields, strong, cannot attack directly, must find weakness." Ryan nodded. "Then we find the weakness. The pack moves as one. Humans, dragon, together. We'll do the impossible. Lena gripped her rifle. I hope you're right. Ryan looked at the team and at Severus. I know I am. We have courage, we have trust, and we have each other. That's enough to make the impossible possible. As the twin suns rose, casting light over the mountains, the pack stood ready. The dragon stretched its wings, feeling stronger each day. The humans checked their equipment, steadying their nerves. Together, they would face the swarm. Together, they would fight. And together, they would show that when humans and other intelligent beings unite, nothing, not even a machine army, was truly unbeatable. The pack had formed. The impossible journey had begun. The swarm tower loomed in the distance like a black monolith, pulsating with energy that rippled through the air. From their observation ridge, the pack could see the dark pulses stretching across the valley below. The ground shimmered with heat and power. Ryan Hale tightened his grip on the scope, studying the structure carefully. This tower, it's massive, Thomas whispered. Even if we hit it, how do we bring it down? Ryan shook his head slowly. Not by hitting it directly. The shields are too strong. Even our best weapons won't work. Severus hovered beside him, wings half folded but energy humming from its scales. Shields can be broken, energy amplified. Human help. Ryan's eyes lit up. Amplified energy. Yes. That's it. He turned to the pack. We can't attack with normal weapons, but Severus's energy, if we amplify it with our tech, it might overload the shield. That's our way in. Lena frowned. Amplify it? That sounds dangerous. One mistake and we could destroy everything around us? Ryan nodded. I know, but we have no choice. Either we try or the swarm will drain this planet completely. Thomas swallowed hard. And you're sure Severus can handle it? The dragon's eyes glimmered. Must human help together succeed? Ryan nodded. Then it's settled. We build a device to amplify Severus's energy and direct it at the tower. The pack moves as one. We attack, disable defenses, and let Severus do the rest. Building the device. Back at the camp, the pack set to work. Engineers scavenged old swarm components and combined them with human tech. Wires, crystal conductors, and energy conduits were fused into a single amplification device. It's risky, Lena said, soldering a delicate circuit. If the calibration is off, it could blow up before we even reach the tower. Then we make sure it's perfect, Ryan said. We'll test every part, every wire, every pulse. No shortcuts. Severus hovered over the workbench, sensing the energy flow and guiding the team with telepathy. Pulse, steady, channel, focus. After days of careful construction, the device was ready. It was small enough to mount on Severus's back, but powerful enough to double the dragon's energy output. The team tested it in controlled bursts, each pulse sending waves of light across the camp. Every time, the device held. Every time, the pack cheered. We're ready, Ryan said finally. Tomorrow, we move on the tower. Training for the mission. The next day, training began. Humans practiced riding Severus while it flew, learning to balance against wind gusts and sudden shifts in energy. The dragon's wings were still healing, but each controlled lift grew stronger. Lena and Thomas practiced operating the device under pressure, while Ryan ran simulations of the tower's defenses. The pack moved as a team, each member understanding their role. Severus's telepathy was crucial. It could sense swarm energy flows, detect patrols, and predict attacks. The humans learned to trust its instincts completely. By evening, the pack was ready, not just physically, but mentally. They had formed a bond stronger than any machine could break. Ryan looked at them all. Remember this. We are the pack. Humans and dragon together. If we trust each other, we can do the impossible. No machine, no shield, no army can stop us if we move as one. Severus hovered above them. Pack, Strong. We'll succeed. The first challenge. At dawn, the pack set out toward the tower. Siverus flew low, carrying Ryan and Lena. Thomas stayed on the ground with portable shields, ready to intercept any swarm patrols. The valley below was filled with moving shadows, swarm units patrolling the area. Their sensors glowed red, scanning for any sign of life. "Stay calm," Ryan whispered. "Let Siverus guide us." The dragon dipped, gliding between rocks and energy pulses. Humans clung tightly, heartbeats racing. The swarm units moved closer, their massive forms marching in perfect synchronization. Suddenly, one unit's sensors detected movement. Its horn emitted a sharp pulse, alerting the others. "Detected!" a swarm unit boomed in mechanical voice. "Go!" Ryan shouted. Siverus surged upward, beating its wings powerfully. Energy flowed from its scales into the amplifier device. A wave of blue light shimmered behind them, masking their movement and confusing the swarm's sensors. Tomas fired portable EMP charges, disabling some units temporarily. Lena coordinated the ground team, guiding Siverus through a narrow canyon to avoid detection. It was chaos, but controlled chaos. Every member of the pack knew their role. Every move relied on trust and timing. Reaching the tower. Finally, the pack reached the base of the tower. Its energy shield shimmered, almost mocking them with its unbreakable glow. The ground trembled as the tower drew power from the planet, sending shock waves that made rocks fall from cliffs. Ryan dismounted carefully, gesturing to the team. "Set up the amplifier. Siverus, get ready. This is it." The dragon's eyes glimmered. "Ready. Human. Together." The pack positioned the device on Siverus's back. It hummed with energy, channels glowing with collected power. "Now," Ryan whispered. Siverus released a controlled energy burst through the amplifier. The shield around the tower flickered. Machines inside reacted violently, sensing the overload. Pulses bounced off the shield, striking the ground nearby. But the pack was prepared, protected by their own shields and the dragon's energy field. "It's working!" Lena shouted. "The shield! It's weakening!" Thomas fired additional EMPs at control nodes, causing sparks to fly from the swarm units. The tower's core pulsed faster, unstable from the amplified energy. Siverus hovered higher, wings spreading wide. The amplifier's hum grew louder. The ground shook. Energy arcs jumped from the dragon's scales to the tower. Ryan's heart raced. "Keep it steady! Don't let it overload!" Siverus's telepathic voice filled Ryan's mind. "Focus, trust, flow, together." The pack moved as one. Humans on the ground disabled outer defenses. Siverus channeled energy directly at the tower. The pulse intensified, shaking the structure violently. The impossible is achieved. The shield shattered in a brilliant flash. Energy arcs cascaded outward, striking swarm units and disabling their systems. Machines collapsed to the ground, sparks flying. Ryan and Lena cheered as Siverus hovered above the ruined tower, wings beating with strength and grace. The amplifier device had worked perfectly. "We succeeded. Human. Pack. Strong." Siverus's voice trembled with relief and joy. The swarm retreated, their energy harvested, their tower destroyed. The valley grew silent, except for the hum of remaining machinery and the wind through the rocks. Ryan looked at the dragon, awe in his eyes. "You did it. We did it. Together." Siverus dipped its head. "Together. Yes. Humans. Worthy. Trust." The pack gathered near the ruins, smiling and exhausted. They had achieved the impossible, not just defeating the swarm's tower, but proving that humans and dragons could stand as equals, combining courage, intelligence, and trust. Ryan knew this was only the beginning. The swarm still existed. Other towers might rise and dangers would follow. But for the first time, humans had a true ally, and Siverus had a pack it could trust. As the twin suns set behind the mountains, casting a golden glow over the valley, Ryan and the pack stood together, stronger than ever. They had faced the impossible and won. The journey was far from over, but now the pack knew, with courage, trust, and unity, they could face anything. The valley below the mountains lay quiet after the destruction of the swarm tower. Smoke curled lazily from the shattered machinery, and energy pulses had faded to harmless sparks. For a moment, Ryan Hale and the pack allowed themselves to breathe. Their mission had succeeded beyond all expectations. But Ryan knew better than to celebrate too soon. The hollow swarm was not defeated. They were only delayed. Somewhere out there, other towers were still gathering energy, and other swarm units would soon arrive to investigate the destruction. Ryan looked at Severus, who hovered nearby, wings flexing as it surveyed the valley. The dragon's scales shimmered faintly in the late afternoon sun, evidence of the energy still flowing through its body. "Human, we cannot rest. More coming," Severus said telepathically. Ryan nodded. "I know, but we've gained an advantage. We know their defenses, we've seen how they react. That gives us a chance to strike first when they come." Lena, still catching her breath, approached Ryan. "We did the impossible, Ryan. How do you keep pushing for more?" Ryan smiled faintly. "Because impossible is never finished. It's just the start." Preparing for the counterattack, the pack spent the next few hours fortifying their position. Humans set up defensive barriers using remnants of swarm machinery. Thomas worked tirelessly to reconfigure energy conductors so that the amplified bursts from Severus could be channeled quickly in multiple directions. Severus hovered low, sensing the surrounding area. "Sensors, detecting, units, moving toward valley." Ryan studied the data on his handheld console. "They're coming from the east, probably scouts to investigate the destroyed tower." Lena frowned. "We can't let them reach the camp, not with their numbers." Ryan nodded. "We won't. This time we strike before they know we're here. Humans, dragon, pack. Ready?" The team formed a quick circle. Each member checked equipment, weapons, and shields. Ryan mounted a ridge, giving orders and keeping a clear view. Severus hovered behind him, wings stretching wide, energy humming along its scales like a living current. "Together, we succeed," Severus said. The swarm approaches. By nightfall, the first swarm units appeared on the horizon. Their sensors glowed ominously red, casting sharp beams across the valley. They were large and menacing, moving in perfect synchronization. "Here they come," Thomas whispered, gripping his weapon. Ryan gestured to the team. "Stay calm. Let Severus guide you. Wait for my signal." Severus tilted its head, wings tensing as it felt the swarm's energy flow. "Focus! Now! Timing! Crucial!" The units advanced steadily. Any hesitation could give them an advantage. The pack remained silent, watching and waiting. Then, Ryan gave the signal. "Now!" Severus surged forward, amplified energy streaming from its scales. The device on its back glowed brightly, channeling bursts directly at the swarm units. Sparks flew as the first line of machines was disrupted, systems overloaded by the raw energy. Humans on the ground sprang into action. Lena coordinated EMP bursts, disabling units' sensors and weapons. Thomas fired plasma rifles, targeting weak points revealed by Severus's guidance. Every move was precise, synchronized perfectly with the dragon's energy attacks. The battle intensifies. The swarm units adapted quickly, sending heavier machines forward. These units were larger, stronger, and armed with energy cannons capable of slicing through rock. The valley shook as they approached, but the pack held their ground. Severus flew higher, dodging the energy blasts with skill and grace. Its amplified energy pulses struck the heavy units, causing sparks and smoke to erupt. The dragon's wings beat powerfully, generating gusts that knocked over smaller machines. Ryan and Lena coordinated attacks from the ground, moving through rocky terrain to flank the swarm units. The pack moved like a single organism, each member aware of the other's positions and actions. "Keep pushing," Rian shouted. "We're stronger together." Severus's voice filled Rian's mind. "Flow, focus, channel, together, strike, now." With a sudden synchronized burst, Severus released a massive wave of energy amplified by the device. The ground trembled as the pulse surged through the valley, overloading the remaining swarm units. Sparks and smoke filled the air. Machines toppled, their systems fried by the sheer force. The final strike. The tower was still intact, but now vulnerable. Ryan pointed at the structure. "Severus, one final pulse. We end this now." The dragon rose higher, wings fully extended. Its eyes glowed with energy, scales radiating power that could light up the night sky. Humans adjusted the amplifier, making sure the energy flowed steadily and safely. With a deep roar that echoed through the mountains, Severus released the final surge. The tower shuddered violently. Lights flickered, alarms blared, and the entire structure glowed as energy overload consumed it from within. The swarm units remaining near the tower fell in confusion, their systems failing completely. The tower exploded in a controlled burst of light and energy, sending a shockwave across the valley. Rocks shook, and the ground trembled, but the pack had positioned themselves safely, protected by shields and Severus's energy field. When the smoke cleared, the tower was gone. Only remnants of machinery and scattered energy pulses remained. Severus hovered above the ruins, wings tired but steady. "We